In this video, we are going to discuss about what if Earth had rings. Imagine looking up, not at the usual sky, but at a vast shimmering arch stretching from horizon to horizon. This isn't science fiction. This is Earth if it had rings like Saturn. In cities like Tokyo, in cities like New York, the rings would dwarf skyscrapers, glowing with sunlight, casting ethereal shadows that move as the planet turns. By day, they'd be a brilliant, silvery white spectacle, brighter than the full moon. Their angle and width would shift depending on where you stood. Near the equator, the rings would be a razor-thin line overhead, farther north or south, a majestic arc dominating the sky. At night, the rings would gather starlight and the sun's afterglow, turning midnight into a gentle twilight. True darkness would be rare. Nights would be bathed in silvery luminescence, bright enough to read by at times. In remote deserts, the rings' intricate structure would be visible. Gaps, divisions, subtle colors, all shimmering to the naked eye. They'd be a dynamic, ever-changing river of ice and rock, a constant reminder of cosmic forces at play. This celestial crown would redefine Earth's identity, transforming our blue marble into a world adorned with cosmic jewels. All you'd have to do is look up. How could Earth get rings? Planetary rings are made of countless particles, dust boulder-sized chunks, mountain-sized chunks. For Saturn, it's mostly ice. For Earth, likely rock and dust, maybe from a shattered moon, an asteroid. Crossing Earth's Roche limit, gravity tears it apart, debris spreads into a ring. Lunar rock rings would be darker than Saturn's, a charcoal band across the sky, dramatic. Over millions of years, particles grind down, pieces rain into the atmosphere, a perpetual meteor shower. No shepherd moons, rings won't last forever. The moon's gravity slowly disperses them. Some material escapes to space, the rest burns up in our skies. A spectacular but temporary celestial crown. Life would change under the rings. The most immediate effect? Light. The rings would cast a vast moving band of twilight across the planet every day. In mid-latitudes, daylight would dim for hours, especially in winter, creating a new kind of twilight. Plants would be affected, animals would be affected, the night sky would be transformed, most stars washed out by the rings' glow. Deep sky astronomy would be nearly impossible. Stargazing would shift to watching the rings' shifting shadows and details. The rings would cool the planet by blocking sunlight. Wind patterns would alter. Ocean currents would change. Micrometeoroids from the rings would add dust to the atmosphere. Clouds would change. Rainfall patterns would shift unpredictably. Even tides would shift as the rings' gravity subtly altered the rhythm of the seas. Coastal life would adapt. Ecosystems would adapt. The rings would become a daily force, shaping Earth's environment and our experience of the sky. The rings would shape our culture as much as our sky. Ancient myths would tell of a divine bridge, the ethereal river spanning the heavens. Art, literature, architecture, poets would write odes to the ark, not the moon. The ring's shadow would become a metaphor for doubt, for fate. Our symbols would change. Flags, paintings, our sense of direction. Festivals would celebrate solstice displays, equinox displays like the moment they vanish edge-on or glow brightest. Our language and daily life would adapt. Meet me when the ring's shadow touches the river. Living under the rings would alter our sense of scale and connection to the cosmos, inspiring new science and spirituality. The rings would be woven into our collective imagination, a constant, unifying presence. To live on an Earth with rings would be to inhabit a world fundamentally changed. The sky would no longer be empty but dominated by a shimmering arc, a new rhythm for life. Science would shift. Astronomers would study the rings up close. Climatologists would adapt to new patterns of light and weather. Biologists would adapt to new rhythms of light and shade. Our myths, our art, and our language would all bear the mark of the rings, a shared global landmark. We'd navigate, tell time, and create stories by the arc above. The rings would be a humbling reminder of our place in the cosmos, a cosmic crown for our planet. Life would adapt, forever defined by the silent, shimmering river stretching from horizon to horizon. Brief silence. If you liked it, tap that like and hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next.